Well, looky what we have here. An actual intro to the video. And hey, Estella's animated this time. Do you remember that Candle Cove video I made 3 million years ago? This is the follow-up. I have most of the main characters for the webcomic designed, and I'm hammering out the details of the plot. So this is the experimental, how do I want this to look phase. So, what I'm doing today is I'm making fake screenshots for this Candle Cove webcomic to kind of show what it would look like if it was an actual TV show like I'd imagined. Now, originally, I was going to do all of the fake screen caps in this kind of 1970s Studio Ghibli style, which, if you're here from my Tumblr account, you probably were expecting, but, as it turns out, I'm not very good at drawing in that style, so I scrapped that idea. So these are all in my normal art style. Okay, everybody caught up to speed? Everybody know what we're doing? Okay, good, let's get started. I'm starting off with a moment from very early on in the story, specifically a moment from the pilot episode as described on the Candle Cove wiki. This is the part where Janice meets Percy. I tried to draw them like they're in the hold of a ship, but as you can clearly see, I suck at backgrounds, so it looks kinda bad. I did this thing with the shading that you're really not supposed to do, but hey, being part of an artist is knowing when to break the rules. What I did was, a lot of the shading for the background is gray or just a darker shade of the color it's on top of. Then I put a black overlay on everything. This was supposed to give the hold a kind of murky, dingy look. I didn't do this with Percy and Janice, don't ask me why, I don't know either. I originally played around with the idea of adding captions to each screenshot, but then decided against it because I couldn't make it look good. Also, I would like to take a moment to explain how I made all of these drawings look like they're on an old TV. See, what I did here was, after I finished each drawing and merged all the layers, I duplicated the merged layer so that I had 3 of it. Then I put multiply layers over each copy in red, green, and blue. I merged each drawing layer with its respective multiply layer, changed the top and middle layers, blue and green respectively, into screen layers, and then gave the top and bottom layers a little zhuzh to add chromatic aberration. Then I merged all the layers together. After that, I put a Perlin noise filter over the whole thing, adjusted it to look like TV static, set the layer with the filter on it to multiply, adjusted the opacity until the image looked appropriately grainy, then merged all the layers again. Finally, I imported a file object onto the canvas, specifically a TV scanline pattern I made myself, set the layer it was on to multiply, adjusted the opacity to my liking, then merged the layers again. And there you have it! First of 3 done, Janice and Percy's first meeting. As you can see, it was a little rough. Time for the second drawing. This one's a major turning point in the show. It's the introduction of the skin taker. It's been ages since I drew a skeleton, and I'm not used to weird camera angles like this, so I'm really heckin' proud of myself for making something this cool. This is where I started experimenting with light and shading. I've decided that during moments that are supposed to be more disturbing, I'm going to have the light source be below the characters rather than above, and I'm going to use this textured pen for shading. On top of that, for such moments, I'm going to specifically use dark blue for all the shading, and golden yellow for highlights. Funny thing about this drawing, when I finished it, I looked at it and was like, oh god, that's horrifying, I'm gonna post it on DeviantArt. And not 3 minutes after I did that, someone messaged me wanting a commission and I had to reject them because I don't have a PayPal, and I felt really bad. Missed opportunities aside, here's the final result. It's easily the best of the 3. Let's end this off with a more comical scene. This is supposed to be a scene from a Season 1 episode called The Treasure is Lost, but in the case of We Ain't Dead Yet, will be a mini-chapter called Up a Tree Without a Paddle. In this scene, Horace Horrible, being the buffoon that he is, has gotten himself stuck up a tree whilst trying to terrorize our heroes. By the way, you see that palm tree? The one that Horace is stuck on? It took so many layers to draw that tree. So many. It was well worth it in the end, but Jesus! Now, this didn't turn out perfect, but it was so much fun to draw that honestly, I don't care. I really want to do more drawings like this one in the future. It's super fun to study certain angles and poses, and I think learning to draw things like, well, trees is worth the frustration. There we go. One Horace stuck in a palm tree. Thanks for watching. This was loads of fun to make. If you're a returning subscriber, Thanks for putting up with my nonsense. And if you're new here, why not subscribe? I do stuff like this all the time, so if that's what you're interested in, like this video so the algorithm knows to show you more of my stuff. You can subscribe, ring the little bell so you know when I've uploaded something new. It's a big help to me, and I appreciate it when people like my stuff. Well, I don't want this outro running too long, so I'll end it here, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!